Now this particular one is going to be Cancun. And this is Cancun Club Med in Cancun, Yucatan Peninsula. And they had two big huge pools like this. That's one pool. We sat around that pool for a while. And there was another pool. And then we stayed in one of those units over there. Forget which one. We stayed in one of those units. And this is in Cancun, Mexico, Yucatan Peninsula. And Club Med, what year? 1981 maybe? 82, something like that. 1981, 82. We went to several Club Meds in Mexico. We went to Ixtapa, Cancun, Zihuatanejo, Playa Blanca, Guaymas. That's right. See, our unit's over there. That's why I zoomed in on that one, because our unit's one of those units over there. So we went to all the Club Meds that were available in Mexico. And this is one of the more interesting ones, Cancun. Look how that comes in like that. It's a special effect on that 8mm. I like that. It zooms up like that. And now I'm on the other side of the bay, looking back over onto the pool, zooming in. Obviously I'm on a tripod because the camera is really steady, you know. See that? Mm-hmm. So I'm on a tripod. If you're on a tripod, you can do pretty good. There's a big boat right there. And that was a pretty good sized complex. Cancun. Big operation. And that's where they had, I think, the facilities for eating there. They had that all set up there. And this is like their lagoon thing right here. Nice lagoon. And big lagoon. Cancun, Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico. Water as warm as can be. See how big that Club Med is? Isn't that big? Even in 1981. Oh, this is where I went. Is this where I went parasailing? No, it was in Ixtapa where I went parasailing. Ixtapa, parasailing. But they did parasailing here at Cancun. But I didn't do it though. You know, this is more on the grounds right here. This must be another day because there's clouds in the sky today. Huge beach. Really, really nice. Cancun, that's probably one of their nicer Club Meds, besides Tahiti. And you had those white chairs. You always sat in those white chairs. And they're all laying around like lizards. And we're all just sitting there. This is after the great big breakfast thing. And we're just sitting around until about noontime when they had the big buffet for lunchtime. And we get around lunchtime and go, man, are we hungry? It's been at least 3 hours since we've eaten. They had the biggest lunches. And then way over there was other hotels of the Cancun area. Because this bay swung way around. There's somebody swimming over there in the bay right there. That bay was a real big bay that swung all the way around. This is about 1981 or 1982. Water just as warm as can be. It's Caribbean. It's like Caribbean water. Really warm. Clear. It's a lagoon, and from the ocean protecting the lagoon. And way over there is a whole other string of hotels, clear across the lagoon. See that? There's all a big setup there at Cancun. Big operation. And that's got a better zoom than my camera here has got. Had a pretty good zoom on it. 8mm camera. And now I'm reconverting the pictures that no longer would play on the old Windows 95, how I captured it before, but now I'm putting them on MPEG on my Sony camera, and now then people can play them, anybody can play them because they're MPEG movies, and I'm taking a picture using my Sony digital camera onto a television, a flat screen, thin screen television that seems to produce it pretty good. And the video is a old VHS video. Now we're flying
Chichen Itza.
Chichen Itza. We're flying over to Chichen Itza. Right, from our Cancun Club Med. Right there is, in fact, right there is Cancun. That is Cancun right there. And we're going to fly to Chichen Itza to go see the pyramids of Chichen Itza. And that bay I just showed there a minute ago was the bay of Cancun. And this is shooting through the window of the airplane. Now this is Chichen Itza. And this is that courtyard where they played that game of shooting that ball through the ring on the side there. And if you were losing that ring right there, if you were the losing team, that was the end of you. So you were fighting for your life to make sure you were the winning team, because the losing team, they just slaughtered right on the spot. So you had to shoot your ball through that oop right there so you can get a score. And this was a ball, some sort of a ball game. This is a big ball court. They had two big teams playing in this ball court. And you had to make sure that you won. And then this big tower thing is like an observatory. I think it's some sort of I think it's some sort of an observatory. Huh? No, this is just a part of the ball game thing, isn't it? Yeah, it's part of the ball game thing. This is a group of tourists, probably our group of tourists, isn't it? Maybe our own group of tourists. I just stepped aside to take pictures, but that's the group that we came with right there. In fact, Ruli might even be in there. Someone right there is Ruli. Right there she is with the hat, with the orange blouse there. Oh, see, I said Ruli, there she is. I waved. So you waved. I was hollering at you, and you looked up. So that's our group, and there you are. Yep. And there goes the group. Yep, that's our group. That is our group. And away we go. But I just stood aside there to take pictures. And there goes the whole group. That's our group that we went from Club Med to take a special side trip to Chichen Itza. And this is some of the buildings of Chichen Itza. And there's tourists climbing all over those buildings there on top. Right there they are. They're up there. Well, the steps went up. Okay, I see those steps going up there. Going up. Oh, and look at that pyramid, that thing right up there. And those are the steps. And those pillars there, they had a roof on top of those pillars. At the time, that was like a large flea market type thing, a large market. Not a flea market, but a regular market. And that's where all the people came to buy things. So that pillars were set up there so they could put a roof across the top for a market. And this is just the grounds. It was like a big city here. Big city. And those were, I think those were walls for different stores. Mm-hmm. Like a strip shopping center, you know, what we would call a strip shopping center. But that was their stores of that time. And they built this around the year 500 AD or something like that. Something like that. 500 AD or 600 AD or 1000 AD, somewhere between 500 AD and 1000 AD. Now, there goes Ruly. She says, bye. And I'm just filming away, and they're just walking away. See, I zoom in on them. And there goes my group. Bye. She says, bye. And she's leaving. You got your hat on so that for the sunshade, so the sun keeps the sun out of your eyes. And I say that I finally caught up now. There is the, I forgot what the pyramid was called.
I don't know. Pyramid.
Pyramid. One of the Mayan pyramids. Now those stairs that those people are going up, I went up those stairs. Right there. See that guy going up those stairs? Mm-hmm. I did the same thing. I went up those stairs the same way, the same thing. Got all the way to the top. I think I got some film from the top here too. And there's actually things in there at the very top. You can actually go, and then there's stairs inside. You could go inside and go back down if you wanted to, or climb from the bottom up, go through the inside. The outside to me was more interesting, but you could go on the inside as well. And there's 4 sides to this, so you could go up any one of those sides and climb that pyramid. And I climbed it. I went to the top of that, up one of those sides. Huge complex. Remember how big that complex was with these big buildings and big things? See, there's another building to this complex. Who knows what that building was for, but that was another building. And there's a gargoyle, or is it a garboy? I think it's a gargoyle. Off the edge of that thing. Yeah, some building, I don't know what it was used for. There's our tourist group again. Another building in this complex with gargoyles. Two big ones. Yeah. And each of these buildings did something. They were government buildings or whatever they were at the time when these Mayans were there. These Mayans were there. I'm going to say around the year 1000 AD, you know, somewhere around that time period, 1000 AD. And they were there for 1,000 years or something, you know. Till one day they just mysteriously disappeared. Look at the gargoyle things right there. That was fun to go all over that complex. And there's that big pyramid thing again. Now I should have some shots from the top of this pyramid if I'm not mistaken. Took my camera up there and I shot from the top. Yeah, this is on a tripod. I got this on a tripod. I'm taking pictures. And there's things inside that, little paintings and things inside that top there. And all those steps going down through there. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't there 365 steps going up that thing?
You know, either that or 180.
Either that or 180, but I think there's 364 steps going up, and the last step is 365 at the very top. That guy's tired. He was halfway down, and he's tired. But you wouldn't want to slip and fall from the top stairs. You'd never make it to the bottom. That'd be the end of it. Oh, see that down through the center there is that rope thing right there? It's a chain. See? Yeah. See, like this guy, those guys right there are going to hang on to that chain, or they're just going to sit right there. Okay. But I hung on to that chain going up and down because that's your guidepost thing. Your guide to hang on to that chain so you wouldn't fall. Now this is another building that they built way back when. Man, that must have been really labor intensive to put these buildings together. Now this still wasn't that observatory. Here's that observatory thing. And they observed the skies and things, the stars and the skies, and they calculated the planets going around, and they seen how the planets went from this observatory thing. So this is an actual observatory where they watched the stars and the planets and everything. So they were very knowledgeable in their time. It took us another 1,000 years just to catch up to them. We're still having trouble catching up to them. They knew the basis and the whole idea of zero, you know, the idea of zero.
Yeah.
And they knew mathematics quite well. Yeah, this was some sort of a star observatory type thing. They had this stuff figured out a long time ago, these Mayans. We're just now catching up to them. Big complex. You can crawl all over that thing. That was pretty amazing, the whole complex. I had to pay money in order to take my camera in there even.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't let me go in there unless I paid money, because they thought I was a commercial filmer, you know.
Yeah.
So I had to pay money just to go in there and to take these pictures. I didn't have a choice. And this is another building. I don't know what the use of this building was. Yeah, they had some pretty fantastic buildings in those days, I'll tell you. A long time ago. I didn't realize my Club Med thing was so big. We like going to Club Med, I'll tell you. Yeah, some other buildings over there, ruins. Pretty amazing. There's our group again. I don't see you down there, but yeah, see now, and we got to crawl all over these things here. Some people are going up those stairs. Look at, very carefully to crawl up those things. It was not easy. I didn't go to the top of that one. I was scared on that one. But I did go on the top of that big pyramid, though. Oh, that's you. Look at that. You went up that far anyway. Are you looking for a camera? Well, I wonder what you're looking for. Ah, see, I yelled at you, so you looked up.
I'm looking for something there.
Yeah, you were looking for something. I says, "Really?" And you looked up. Then you knew that I was filming then. Gargoyles. Look at those gargoyles. Weren't they big?
Yeah.
Really big gargoyle things. Now you must have gone, you went up at least that many steps. You're halfway up.
Mm-hmm.
So you must have gone to the top. I didn't go to the top of that one, but you did. Wow. Pretty nice. Let's go back. I missed out.
They probably won't let you climb on top of them anymore now.
No. No, right. They go, no, climb on those? No way. But see, I think those stones like that were, and then you put roofs across them, and that's where they sold their products from underneath those things then. Those are pillars for putting a roof over the top. A temporary roof type thing. To keep the sun out, because the sun was just intense. Oh, look at, there's designs in those rocks. See that? Wow. I didn't know that, but there's designs in those rocks. Ooh, and look at, and these other rocks there are too. Wow, and there's some more. I know they had roofs on these things here. Temporary roofs, but those are permanent pillars. Ah, look at there. You stuck your head out from between those pillars. You were having a good old time. Oh, you disappeared. Here you come. Oh, there you go. Yeah, see, those were for roofs. You know, those are pillars, and they put roofs on that, and they sold products from underneath those things. So this was a big, huge market thing. Wow. They would sell fruits and vegetables and fish and things like that. Slaughtered animals. Is she going to stand on top of that stone or not? Oh, they're all standing on stones. I just now realized they were all on stones. They were like statues. Each one of them was on stones. Look at that big market thing. Oh, see? There's people standing on those things. See? They're pretending like they're statues. See? See?
Yeah.
How cute! Yep. They're all pretending like they're statues. They're standing on those stones. That's so good. And I zoomed in so much that they didn't even realize what I was doing there, you know. They didn't know I was there filming them. Wow. And up there is where the expensive products were.
Yeah.
If you went up there, it was upstairs, you get to buy the expensive products. Wow. Oh, goody goody, a train is coming by. Wow. This is like a big downtown, like a city, you know?
Yeah.
See, I remember they were doing these documentaries, and they showed how these things pyramided like that, you know?
Yeah.
And you could see the shadows come down through there then.
Yeah.
Wow. And I think that's where they talked about where there were 365 steps. 364 steps, and the last step on top is 365. Now this side was faced with this facing material, but part of the facing material has come off, you know. So this side was faced, and the other sides had steps on them. Maybe these had steps on them too. Do they look like steps? Maybe.
Not sure.
Not sure. They look like steps too.
Yeah.
Maybe just chunks of those steps came off, you know.
Yeah.
Wow. Monster construction, monster building that they built there. I don't know if I'd want to go inside or not, though. They said you can go inside, but I don't think I'd want to crawl the steps inside. That'd be way too scary. That'd be claustrophobic. Wow, this is a good one too. See, here comes people coming down. They're coming way too fast. They're going to fall. You wouldn't want to fall from up there. They're not having any trouble climbing them. They're doing just fine. Wow. Well, here they are way on top. They're walking around. That's part of our group, I think, going up. They waved at me, whoever it was. Nobody I know, I don't think. Oh, maybe that was me! Get out of here, that's me! You're filming me going up those steps. That was me going up those steps. Get out of here, how cute! No wonder that person was waving all the time. That was me going up those steps. I did go to the top of that, I remember that.
Yeah, that's probably right there, huh?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I'm on top of the pyramid right now looking down on this other complex here.
Yeah.
That's what it is. See how all those pillars? That's where they had all the shops. And see, I'm on top of the pyramid again right here.
Yeah.
And this is all the tourists going around this complex. So I'm on top of the of that pyramid right now, filming what the complex looks like.
Yeah.
Ah, see? That's what it looks like way down. And there you are.
I was telling you the plane was leaving.
Right. Yeah, and you waved. You said, the plane's leaving. And where my legs rubber, look how far down that is. See, the lady's walking sideways there. See how she's doing that? See, I'm at the very top. And I'm taking pictures of these other buildings out there, see? I got some good pictures from on top here. Wonderful pictures. We were really high. Nice view. Nice views from up here. Wow. And you said, plane's leaving. And there's that rope thing I'm telling you about, you know. And that lady's going down sideways because she's a little bit scared. But that's how steep that is and how far down that is. See? See, they're hanging onto the rope, that chain. They have a chain that you hang on to go down, you know. Now I'm at the bottom now looking up. So apparently I came down and that was that chain. Somebody pulled the chain up and was able to show that chain. There it is right there. I was at the very top of that. And I had to come down. I hung onto that chain all the way down. That was scary. You see how steep that is looking down? Yeah. You look like almost like an ant looking down on that thing. Huge complex. Oh, that one faded out. I must be experimenting with see if I can get more light or something on my 8mm camera, you know. I didn't know if I wanted more light or less light or what. Surely that's not the end of it. I bet it is. I bet that was the end right there.
That was the end.
That was it.
Oh,